This is my Yamaha R6, and over on the bench here is the engine that I took out of it in the last video. Once I got the engine on the bench, I took off the clutch, only to find that the plate closest to the engine was actually in 3 pieces. I then took off the head to inspect that, and I've never taken an engine apart before, and it looked all right to me. But thanks to you guys in the comments, I now know that there's something majorly wrong with piston 4. Suspected it's been hitting the valves, which is very bad. Now, I can't believe I didn't actually spot this myself, but if you look at piston 1, 2, and 3, they all look very similar, all kind of black and dirty and horrible. If you look at piston 4, look at those two kind of sections there. They are kind of clean and shiny. It definitely looks different to the other 3 pistons. And I noticed something. If I put the N2 at top dead center, that doesn't actually go to top dead center. I shall demonstrate by rotating this and winding this piston up to TDC, which I need a spanner for because it's a little bit stiff once it gets close, as in I can't turn it by hand. So that is now perfectly in line with that. And if you look at piston 4, there's a good 2mm drop on that. Best to show you this with a steel rule. Now you can see that the steel rule is virtually touching the piston there, piston 1, and nowhere near piston 4. So definitely not right. That suggests to me that the conrod might be bent. However, if you look at these dimples, yeah, they are a lot bigger than the dimples on the other cylinders. So either that conrod is bent or this piston has kind of melted due to, getting too hot or whatever. And as you can see on the underside of the head, cylinder 1, 2, and 3 actually look very similar, all carbonized and burnt and horrible and dirty and stuff, but not damaged. Cylinder 4, the exhaust valves actually are completely different color to everything else. So I can't believe I didn't spot that. You can also see that this is a lot cleaner than the other 3 cylinders. Let's not forget, I also discovered a crack in cylinder liner 1 as well in the last video. So if I'm going to get that repaired, which I haven't decided I'm going to do or not do yet, I'm going to have to strip the rest of the engine apart anyway. You guys have also advised me that the play in the gearbox is actually normal, so I'm happy about that. So let's turn this upside down, get it on the engine stand, and take out the bottom end. I will try and make this as quick and as interesting as possible for you guys, because you'll have seen me do this now a few times. Oh, obviously oil everywhere. Who'd have thought the oil filters have got oil in it? Okay, so all I'm going to do is go round, undo all the bolts, and hopefully it will come apart. That's the wrong size socket. And unlike last time, I've actually bolted the engine stand to the table, so it shouldn't move too far. Just a case of finding all the bolts, really. So there's a fair few around the outside, and there's a fair few on the inside. No real method to my madness here. I think we've all pretty much written this engine off anyway, so let's just go round and crack them all off. I think that's all the ones from the outside. I think that's it. So if I get my tappy, hopefully all this will just come off the top. Hey, looks like I might have got all the bolts. Hey, there we go. Right, now we can see everything in its glory. And I think that will just lift out. Yep. And I think that probably wasn't really in the way, was it? I could have just left that in over. Will the crankshaft just lift? No, good. Right, so now I need to undo the conrods. So let's find a, what's that, 10mm? Now, as we look at this, this is piston 1, 2, 3, 4, because the engine is upside down, but you count it from that side. Oh. Now I should be able to remove the crankshaft. Whee! Oh, the pistons need to come out from the other side, don't they? So, there we go. Piston 1. Piston 2. Piston 3. And the point of interest, piston 4. Okay, with them nicely laid out on the bench, we can have a look. So pistons 1, 2, 3 and conrods 1, 2, 3 all look fine. So does piston and conrod 4, apart from the obvious kind of weird, toasty, worn damage on the top. I can't really see anything wrong with it. It certainly doesn't look bent, not to the degree where it wouldn't have moved it up by 2 millimeters, but oh, hold on a minute. Where's the bearing? That's got a bearing. That's got a bearing. And that's got a bearing. Where's the bearing on Conrod 4? Is it still on the... Ooh. It's still on the crankshaft. Did it come off? Ooh. Oh, okay. So both halves of that bearing still, well, were still attached to the crankshaft. It's supposed to be in there. Because normally when you take it apart, they stay in there. And that is, and sadly, it would appear that is damaged quite badly. I don't know if that's repairable. Maybe we need a new crankshaft, a new piston. Might as well put a new conrod in at the same time. New big end bearings. We need to re-sleeve that. Is it worth re-sleeving all of them? How much money is this engine actually worth spending on? On the plus side, gearbox is good. So this looks pretty bad. The crankshaft needs replacing. The piston and conrod from cylinder 4 minimum needs replacing. The big end bearings need replacing. The engine needs relining. It's probably not financially, economically viable to do this and repair it. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Let's face it. I'm going to do some research, see how much some spare parts are, and go from there. I've got a theory as to what might have happened here. I think cylinder 4, piston 4, conrod 4, I think it's got very hot due to oil starvation. Now, the only reason that would happen on one cylinder and not the other 3 would be if the bike was laid on its side whilst running. So maybe this has been in a minor accident. It's been a track bike, we know that much, so it could have slid off the track and ended up staying running for a few minutes, and that cylinder's got very, very hot and burnt through the bearing. That would explain why that happened. Piston 1 cracking, that's probably happened due to a manufacturing default with this engine, because apparently it's a very common thing for the liner on cylinder 1 to crack. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Let me know what you think in the comments as to what I should do. You've obviously got engine replacement, engine rebuild, Frankenstein engine, which will be buy another knackered engine and try and make one good engine out of 2 engines. That could actually be the most viable option, depending on how much these are on eBay. So I'm going to hit the computer, see what I can find. Thank you very much for watching again. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. and the notification thing so you know when I upload the next video on this monstrosity. And I will catch you next time. Thank you very much. Cheers.